JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 4 people, including a woman, arrested on Sunrise Crescent on gun charges. Lawmen assigned to the St. Andrew North Police Division are reporting the arrest of 4 people, including a woman, after an illegal gun and other items were seized on Sunrise Crescent, Kingston 19 yesterday. According to the police, the following weapon and paraphernalia were seized: 1 Browning 9mm pistol, 18 5.56 rounds of ammunition, 12 9mm rounds of ammunition, 2 12-gauge cartridges, 2 Glock 9mm magazines, 1 pound of ganja, 1 imitation bulletproof vest. Reports are that about 8 a.m., an operation was conducted at a premises in the area when the firearm, along with the ammunition, were found in a hole in a wall. The ganja and the imitation bulletproof vest were found in a bedroom at the house, the police said. All 4 people were subsequently arrested. However, their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. In another incident, a .38 revolver, along with 4.38 rounds of ammunition were seized on Odman Lane, Grandspan in Kingston, also on Wednesday. Reports from the Constant Spring Police are that about 1:30 a.m., lawmen were on patrol when 3 men were seen standing near a car. They were held and searched, and the weapon was found under the car. All 3 were taken into custody. Investigations continue. Fish vendor gets 4 years for gun theft. A St. Catherine fish vendor who stole a firearm and attempted to sell it has been sentenced to 4 years in prison. Charles Baxter, 35, of Bridgeview in Portmore, St. Catherine, was on Friday sentenced to 4 years in prison for illegal possession of firearm, 2 years for larceny of a firearm and ammunition, and 12 months for illegal possession of ammunition when he appeared in the Home Circuit Court. Justice Dale Palmer, in sentencing the married father of 4, who has been in custody since November 2018, ordered that the sentences are to run concurrently. Baxter was arrested and subsequently charged after he gave the 9mm Beretta to a relative to sell. The weapon had been reported missing by a licensed firearm holder in September 2018. The gun owner told the police that he went to Roselle Falls in St. Thomas and left the pistol, along with 19 rounds of ammunition, in the glove compartment of his car, but on his return discovered that they were missing. Baxter's attorney, Samuel Campbell, who begged for leniency for his client, pleaded with the judge to take into account that he suffers from bipolar disorder and prior to his arrest was unaware of his condition. She also asked the judge to consider that he has 4 dependents and that although he was previously convicted for larceny of cattle, he had not been in trouble with the law for 10 years. Justice Palmer, before handing down the sentence, said that although he would take Baxter's condition into account, it was uncertain how it impacted the case, and he could not ignore the fact that the offender had shown a propensity for larceny. Further to that, Palmer said Baxter not only stole the gun, but had tried to sell it unlawfully, which if he had, could have resulted in the loss of innocent lives. However, he said he would bear in mind that Baxter had not wasted the court's time, had pleaded guilty, and had already spent 2 years in prison. Palmer stressed that the issue of illegal possession has become too prevalent in the society, and a strong message must be sent. Persons are going into church and killing people. Something serious needs to happen, he said. Private schools exempt from adjustment to face-to-face classes. Ministry of Education officials have clarified that the adjustment to face-to-face classes announced yesterday morning does not apply to private institutions. Addressing a post-cabinet media briefing yesterday morning, Minister of Education Favour Williams announced that effective immediately, only students who are to sit exit exams are to be allowed in schools for face-to-face classes. For schools that are operating in the face-to-face mode, we have made an adjustment, and we have directed that those schools in the face-to-face mode only have students from grade 6, which is the exit for our primary schools, and students in grades 11, 12, and 13 in our secondary schools, said Williams. All of the students will stay at home and utilize the online learning platform or the audiovisual approach, which will be watching the lessons on television and to listen to lessons on radio. And we do have a national schedule published to inform all our students and parents as to what time these lessons will be on, added Williams. But with parents of students in private schools being told by administrators that this did not apply to them, the ministry yesterday afternoon clarified that the directive applies only to public schools. Second man held for homeless murders. A second person has been detained in relation to the deadly overnight attacks on homeless people in the corporate area last month. 3 homeless men were chopped to death in downtown Kingston, and a 4th killed in southern St. Andrew. 2 other injured homeless men were found at a Constant Spring Road Plaza and on Derrimore Road in the St. Andrew Central Police Division. A few days later, one of the wounded men succumbed to his injuries. One person was detained in the case of the 3 Kingston Central, and one number of youngsters were detained, in which one was charged in relation to the other incidents. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang said on Tuesday. The minister said those cases remain in the courts. Chang added that the case in the Central Kingston area was caught on camera and the individual was detained pretty quickly. A security guard at the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation temporary night shelter on Church Street said on Tuesday that since the January 25th incident, an influx of people have been seeking refuge there. "Will it more people are coming? Them are coming cause man they are road and afraid," said the guard, who asked not to be named. There are approximately 2,000 homeless people in Jamaica, around a quarter of them, or 500, in downtown Kingston alone. Sudan Sherlin has been homeless for the past 6 months, as her dilapidated home was no longer habitable. She has been fortunate to secure a bed at the shelter every night and has never had to sleep on the streets. "Me used to these types of things. Where I was living, you hear gunshots like nothing," Sherlin said when asked about January's shock murders. A young homeless man who was seated outside the shelter said it has become his new daytime sanctuary. The area is manned by a security guard and he believes it is much safer. "For the time being, we just have to keep ourselves safe. Me try to stay by myself and me go inside at night time," he said. An 80-year-old woman disclosed that she had no fears in the aftermath of the bloody incident. "Jesus takes care of me. I am a Maroon and a Roman Catholic. They can't do me nothing in Jesus' name," she exclaimed. Final batch of tablets for PATH students to be distributed shortly. Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Honorable Favour Williams, says that the final batch of tablets procured for students under the Programme of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, has arrived in the island and will be distributed shortly. She noted that of the 40,000 tablets procured, approximately 36,000 have already been distributed to pupils in grades 4, 5 and 6. The distribution exercise is being undertaken by the Education Ministry in collaboration with the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology through its agency e-Learning Jamaica. She noted as well that the 15,000 laptops, which the government purchased for PATH students in grades 10 to 13 in high schools, will be rolled out in the coming weeks. The minister was speaking at the handover of 26 tablets, valued at more than $1 million by the Kiwanis Club of South St. Catherine, to the Gregory Park Primary School in Portmore, St. Catherine, on Wednesday, February 24. Ms. Williams noted that the provision of electronic devices for students is important, as technology has now become a vital part of the education system due to the coronavirus pandemic and is going to remain a permanent part of the teaching and learning experience. "It's almost been a year now since most of our students have been at home. We were able to pivot very quickly to our children using the Google Suite Learning Management System," she said. She noted, however, that the focus is not only on PATH students, pointing out that through the government's Own Your Own Device program, 36,000 families are being given $20,000 towards the purchase of a tablet or laptop. Private individuals and organizations are encouraged to make donations under the One Laptop or Tablet per Child initiative. The minister thanked the Kiwanis Club of South St. Catherine for stepping forward with your donation of tablets to Gregory Park Primary School. "It is the benevolence of societies such as the Kiwanis Club of South St. Catherine that will help us to reach the goal of ensuring that all of our students all across Jamaica have a device in their hand," she said. Williams encouraged the students to take care of the devices and to use them for the purpose they were given, which is to enable their continued educational development. 248 new virus cases, 4 confirmed COVID deaths. Jamaica yesterday recorded 248 new cases of COVID-19 and 6 new deaths, 4 confirmed as COVID-related and 2 under investigation. This pushes the total number of confirmed cases to 22,267 and the confirmed COVID death toll to 410. The country also reported 3 more deaths of COVID patients as coincidental. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest deaths consist of a 57-year-old man from St. Catherine, a 66-year-old man from St. Elizabeth, a 57-year-old woman from St. James, and a 103-year-old woman from St. Catherine, whose death was previously reported under investigation. Meanwhile, the ministry said there are now 8,466 active cases of the virus in the country. Of the newly reported cases, there were 111 males and 130 females with ages ranging from 4 months to 97 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 91, St. Catherine 46, Clarendon 33, St. James 15, St. Thomas 15, Trelawney 10, St. Mary 9, Manchester 7, St. Anne 7, Hanover 6, St. Elizabeth 5, Portland 2, and Westmoreland 2. The country also recorded 66 recoveries yesterday, bringing the total since the outbreak locally to 13,173. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.